We are 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. We are body, mind, and spirit. Our quest as evolutionary beings is to master each of these 3 aspects of our being so that we can evolve physically, mentally, and spiritually. We can harmonize these 3 aspects of our being by increasing our awareness of how and why they are connected. Mastering and harmonizing our body, mind, and spirit is the key to achieving total well-being. You will lighten up by purifying your body, liberating your mind, and unleashing your creative spirit. As you master and harmonize your body, mind, and spirit, you will unleash your highest potential in every aspect of your life. You will start living your best life as your highest self. Are you ready to lighten up?
Voice America TV proudly presents Lighten Up, featuring your host, Suzanne Ross, inspirational author, motivational speaker, and wellness expert.
Hello and welcome to Lighten Up. I am so delighted to be here today with Dr. Leslie Hewitt. Leslie has been a chiropractor for 16 years, and she has a beautiful studio in Danville, California called Anatomy Power. I'm here today with Leslie because she would like to talk about the WOW talks. Hello, Leslie, and thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you so much for being here. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Leslie has a fantastic reputation in the Tri-Valley area. I met her because we have many friends in the wellness community in common. Today, I would like to talk about the WOW Talks, Leslie. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how you got started?
Yes, thank you for asking. So the WOW Talks is Women of Wellness. And what I always like to remind women is WOW is mom upside down. So it started because my mother was injured by a pharmaceutical prescription drug and she died. So WOW really comes from my mom's spirit, and my real intention of WOW is to give women information so they can make an informed choice. And I always like to remind women to stop medicating the messenger.
I love that tagline, stop medicating the messenger. So many people in general are on pharmaceuticals these days, and the side effects are just tremendous. Can you tell us some personal stories about pharmaceutical damage of clients that you've had come in?
Sure. So I'm a chiropractor. I'm in this office, and what I'm finding is more people are coming in with side effects of the pharmaceutical drugs that they're on. It's no longer neck pain and back pain just from heavy lifting. It's really the side effects from all the drugs. And what I like to remind my patients is, as Americans, there's only 311 million people in this country on a planet of 7 billion. And out of being only 5% of the world population, we're using over 90% of the world pharmaceuticals. And in particular, pain meds. We're hooked in America on pain meds. And I always like to share with my patients that pain is a messenger. So are symptoms, so is your intuition, your inner guidance. But don't underestimate the power of a symptom to get your attention.
Yes, those are some astounding statistics. And I really do believe as well that even the mental and the physical symptoms, are a sign that something needs to change. But it doesn't have to be fixed by pharmaceuticals. There's many other alternative therapies. Can you talk about the therapies that you offer?
Yes, so I'm a chiropractor, and I just love getting my hands on patients. I'm very traditional with hands-on chiropractic. We also do massage. One of the up-and-coming medical modalities that I love is functional medicine. The key there is function. So you can test function instead of just medicating the symptom. And I highly recommend wherever you live, find a functional medicine doctor, find a chiropractor because that is direct stimulus on the central nervous system. A massage is therapeutic. And there's a lot of women coming out with great things like essential oils and Reiki and, of course, diet, exercise, and nutrition. Never, ever forget diet, exercise, and nutrition in your weekly lifestyle.
Absolutely. Lifestyle definitely plays a very important role in your overall wellness. But if you do have physical symptoms arise, seeking the alternative therapies is a much better choice. And you're all about informed choices.
Yay. Yeah. So information is the key. I know a lot of patients come in here and they're really just making decisions out of misinformation. A lot of people are going to Google and, just Googling all their symptoms. They're going to MDs and getting on drugs or surgery. And I just really recommend that you get information. And it's not always going to be accurate on Google. So my favorite way for women to get information is really start networking. Start going to your community groups, hanging out with women, and start finding the groups that support wellness.
Absolutely. And there are so many women now who are finding a better way. It feels to me like we went through a phase over the last 10 years of doctors really prescribing women who were suffering from anxiety or depression just a multitude of drugs that then have long-term side effects.
Yeah, and I would say the number one prescribed drug to women, for women today, are antidepressants. And keep in mind that's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. You can build serotonin. I always say the best way to build serotonin is to go shopping. Retail therapy is good. But if that doesn't work for you, you need a good healthy breakfast of amino acids which convert to serotonin, which convert to melatonin, so you can get a good restful night's sleep. And in my practice, I'm just hearing all of the stories that, the men and the women, but I just want to really target the women. Women can't sleep, they can't lose weight, they're stressed out, they're overwhelmed. And you can manage all of that with diet, exercise, and nutrition. And I know that a lot of us alternative providers are hearing some really horrific stories coming from the medical model. And I'm not knocking medicine. There is a time and a place for it. But I always say start with the alternative therapies first before you get on those hardcore drugs leading possibly to surgery.
Fantastic. And all of this inspired Dr. Leslie Hewitt to create the WOW Talks.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me about the guests that you've had to some of these events.
Thank you. So the WOW Talks is really a speaker platform for women that have information to share, because that is the premises of WOW, is to give information so women can make an informed choice. So we are getting a lot of female MDs, and my entire speaker platform is for women only. That's my favorite group to hang out with, is you ladies. So we're getting MDs, we're getting people from the hospitals and the healthcare systems coming out. We've got a lot of whistleblowers sharing stories. And what's really amazing about WOW is we're getting a lot of women that are getting these very authentic businesses coming out of them. They're done with corporate America, like you and I already discussed, that corporate America was just way too aggressive and way too patriarchal. And so a lot of these women are stepping out of the medical model and the corporate model and starting to speak from their authenticity. And it's amazing. They're developing businesses. So we welcome those ladies to WOW to come and speak to our ladies. And it's all about building this network of women so that we can support each other in healthy ways. And my goal with WOW is to create a new cultural authority and a new social proof for women that comes from wellness and comes from support and community and collaboration. And I always say to the women patients that I have that are not networking, I think a healthy woman is a woman that is in community with other women.
Absolutely. And I understand you have some people from the pharmaceutical world as well as the medical world stepping forth. And I think you kind of use the word whistleblowers.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So thank God for those whistleblowers. We invite the whistleblowers here. And I know it's scary to speak up. And I believe that if we can create a really supportive community, and as women we support the stories that are coming to us, we will create a new social proof and a new cultural authority. And as women, what we can do is we can start migrating into corporate America, education, healthcare, the legislative process, and politics, because there's not enough women in those sectors of business. And I think if we can start with our healthy mindsets and our authenticity and our voices, I think we can start migrating into these different sectors on the planet and in business, and we can start changing some of the business models out there that are ready for the feminine archetype.
You are so well versed on all of this. I love the powerful words that she's using. And really, it sounds to me like it's an initiative. And I love the idea of networking. So for the women that are watching who have a desire to really start networking with other women, tell me what they would do. Do you know of particular networking groups that are currently active that are involved in seeking greater wellness?
Well, the W.O.W Talks, I think, is the number one wellness group that is happening, and we are spreading all over. We've already dominated the San Francisco Bay Area. We're now going down the California coast all the way to San Diego. I'm always looking for W.O.W chapter leaders around the country. I certainly want to go global. But my recommendation for women, and this is a little secret that some of you don't know, I think the easiest way to quickly get into your communities is to go to meetup.com. And I'm not getting paid to promote them. I just think that it's a easy way for you within a 10-mile radius of your house. Meetup.com, type in wellness groups or women's groups or running groups or mommy and me groups. Whatever group you want to get into, I guarantee you're going to find something in your area. And if you don't, start a W.O.W chapter.
Exactly, right? And so the topics of conversation amongst these groups of women almost becomes like a support group, sharing, what they've been through as far as mental or physical distress, and then what they've done about it. Because I think in that sharing, that the women will really start to feel more empowered and really take action to not just seek alternative therapies, but just to maybe improve their lifestyle or seek some personal coaching or spiritual counseling. Fantastic, yes.
Yeah, and I always say, find groups that you feel safe in. So as women, our primal brain function from a neurological perspective is really designed for safety. And I like to share with women, it's why we still go to the bathroom together when we're out socially. Hey, do you want to go to the bathroom? Because we are designed at a very primal brain function for safety. So when you do go out networking, make sure when you walk in you feel safe. I like to say the groups I enjoy, I feel like I'm in sacred space. I can connect, collaborate, I can celebrate. And I think it's really important for women to start sharing their stories and make sure you feel safe first. So sort of feel out some of the groups to see if there's some like-mindedness there. And I always like to choose groups that aren't gossiping. I always say that's the killer of safety for women at a brain function level. So no gossiping, no betrayal. And the next thing for us women, we need to stop competing. And that's coming out of that patriarchal mindset, which is healthy for men to compete. And I don't mean competing like you want to bring out the best in you. I mean, we don't want to compete with each other in our lifestyle choices or our businesses. We want to find highly collaborative communities where we feel safe.
You are speaking my language, my friend. I have said that 2015 is the year for collaboration. rather than competition. And it doesn't mean you can't compete with yourself to wake up every day and be better than you were yesterday. But when it comes to networking with other women, it's all about the collaboration. We're going to go to break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about 2016, the WOW Talks. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. We'll be right back.
Thank you all for being here. So the WOW factor is you. WOW is Women Wellness. And the WOW conference is really here to celebrate women. And it is my belief that women will transform the world. So I thank you. So you're all here because you're part of that collective. I wanted to create an inclusive environment. So no matter what your belief system is, you would fit in and be able to share your story in a way that is authentic. I would like to invite you to speed date today. There's a lot of really amazing women here at the WOW conference. Consider the rest of the day speed dating. Try and meet as many women as possible and start making connections. Because once we start connecting as women, we will raise the consciousness of the planet. We're on a planet called Mother Earth. We're in a galaxy called the Milky Way. It's feminine. And what I have done here today is really just called it in. So I challenge you to really pay attention to what you're calling in. And like what Dr. Gaiman said about neuroplasticity, every thought you have shows up somewhere in your world, in your life, and in your relationships, and in your bank account. So if you don't know what you're thinking, take a look around, because everything in your life is you manifesting. Everything that's in your world is a mirror image of you, and you get to choose what you're calling in. So I really encourage you to start taking a look at what you're calling in.
Welcome back to Lighten Up. I am here with Dr. Leslie Hewitt, and we're talking about the WOW Talks. I understand you're already planning for 2016. What do you have in store?
I am so excited to share that WOW is scaling. So for those of you that don't know what that means from a business perspective, and if you haven't been watching Shark Tank, which I love, by the way, scaling means that we're growing, we're expanding, and we are increasing our reach. So more importantly, what we are doing is we are creating a speaker platform, and it's going to be a point of entry speaker platform. So for some of you speakers that have absolutely no experience, WOW is where you want to come to start learning how to speak. And we've got 8 chapters already and growing. So for our speakers that do come to us, we're going to get you on a speaker circuit. And from there, we are also taking applications for speakers in 2016. So we're getting set up for speaker applications, WOW chapter leader applications, volunteer applications, and then I'm also looking for some employees for WOW that are excellent at branding, marketing, SEO, and the entrepreneurial businesswoman that wants to get involved with the WOW Talks in 2016. And we have a 3-year plan in how we're rolling out and scaling to give women an opportunity to get into a community where they can fulfill all their needs, from speaking to connecting to collaborating. And we always like to include celebrating, because I think that's a good way to increase serotonin, which is that happiness chemical.
Oh, that is so amazing. You've already expanded so much. 8 chapters. Now, are those 8 chapters all based here in the San Francisco Bay Area right now?
7 in the Bay Area, 1 in San Diego, and then, like I said, the entire state of California. We've got a lot of chapters that are awaiting to open up. So we need some training, and that's one of the great chapter leader benefits is we give you a lot of training on sales, marketing, branding, how to lead a group, how to facilitate. So we hope that in the next 3 years, we're going to be up to 100 chapters.
All in California, or are you expanding throughout the Southwest?
We're going to expand across the country. We're going to start with California and then expand east. And we've got some ladies from around the world that are calling WOW also. I'm just not ready yet, but I will be. So that's why we're scaling over the next 3 years, so that we can get onto some of the other continents and into some of the other countries. Because with our surveys and our statistics, what we're finding is the San Francisco Bay Area is really leading a lot of the women's initiatives, but there's a lot of other places in the rest of the world that the women don't have as much opportunity as we do here. So we want to reach out to those ladies and start offering some opportunities so that we can support them as well.
This is very exciting, and I just love the way Leslie's mind just expands. She has tapping into her unlimited potential without a doubt, because there is no limit to how this can expand and grow, and it's such an inspiring initiative with really a higher purpose of getting us all off of the pharmaceuticals and into these alternative therapies so that we can really just experience a higher way of living and being. It's about mind, body, spirit wellness, truly.
It is, and I really think that women are a target market. So I always like to remind women, you are the #1 shoppers. You are the consumer. You're making all of the consumer choices. So if we could collectively help and guide you to make more informed choices, we could really start getting some better products on the market, of course, more organic food, less GMO, less vaccinations, and we do need to start educating the women that are making some of these choices. So we are the #1 consumer, and we are a target market, so it's time to get involved with groups like this where you're watching TV interviews, you're getting involved with the groups in your community, and just make sure that you're getting involved with healthy organizations such as this so that you can get the information to make an informed choice as the #1 consumer on the planet.
These WOW chapters sound fantastic, and it's so exciting that they're spreading. But if you don't live in California and you want to start your own wellness group, would you recommend maybe that they reached out to the wellness community in their area and then maybe started their own group? Can they reach out to WOW to get some advice on?
Yeah, I'm highly collaborative, so I'm always open to giving women some information so that you can start your own group. And I just think the more women that are making healthy choices and creating healthy communities, and what happens is we all start connecting with each other. We found each other organically. So that's what happens when you create a group or you get involved in a group. You start organically collaborating. And again, this is healthy brain function for women. We are natural collaborators. So by all means, you can contact me, and I'm happy to collaborate and help you grow a wellness community.
And I think oftentimes what you'll find is that if you get in touch with one woman in your wellness community, that they are going to be interconnected with other female wellness professionals in your area, most likely. I mean, we certainly find that here in California, so I can imagine that it's like that in other states across the country.
I think so. And again, reach out to communities as a woman, because that is what's going to raise your wellness. I always say an unhealthy woman is behaving like a lone wolf. You do not want to behave alone. So get out into some of the groups in your area, and if they're not there, start one.
Even in a family unit, I really feel like the woman really sets the stage for the wellness in the whole family. And I find, in particular in relationships, man and wife, that if the wife sets the example of being healthier by making healthier choices as far as cooking, but even fitness, that she can inspire the entire family to reach out and start participating in just more activity and healthier eating. Do you find that as well?
I do, and I say, as women, do not underestimate the power of your word. So in your family, if you're having any communication issues, do not underestimate the power of your words and the clarity of example. Like you said,
Yes.
Cooking, clean out your pantry. If you don't have a gym or you don't want to work out or you're so unhealthy, I find a lot of people are too unhealthy to even get into the gym environment. I always say, if you can just walk around the block, you're doing much better than the couch potatoes.
Yes.
So lead by example and set the tone through role modeling in your families. You have so much influence, you have no idea, as a mom, as a sister, as a mother, a grandmother, as a woman. You have way more power. So start teaching people through your own clarity of example.
That's so important, and I think how you communicate that to others, especially family members, is so important as well. So, rather than judging how others may be conducting their lives, especially if it's your husband or even your children, rather than judging, just lead by example. I really find that's the most inspiring, because some of the activity you just kind of want to allow without judging. And I think that's how you can be most inspirational, don't you?
I do. And I like to share with my patients that, there's a lot of ways that you can clear some of the interference in your system so that you can role model with clarity. Chemical stress through the foods you're choosing to eat. So be mindful of the chemistry you're bringing into your body. That changes everything. Be mindful of your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, your financial. That's all part of wellness. Be mindful of all of the things that you're bringing into your body, because it is stored at a cellular memory. And for a lot of the women that come into my practice that are just completely overwhelmed, the first place I start is nutritionally, is just clearing out the sugar and the gluten and the dairy. That's just clear that stuff out and start really changing your chemistry. And you'll be amazed how just doing that is going to give you more energy to start radiating out into your families and start. I think we need to change some of the dynamics in our relationships, but chemistry is a really good place to start.
It sounds like it. That is so powerful. You have given us so much great advice today, and really in alignment with the concept of my show, because I really emphasize mind, body, spirit, wellness, and that we are 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. And so every day we need to do something to stimulate our mind, activate our body, and ignite our spirit. And it sounds like that you really prescribe that as well.
I do. And thank you for finding time to get this word out, because what you're doing is really important.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching another episode of Lighten Up. And remember, live well, love life. This program has been a community service presented by the Awakening Center, a nonprofit organization for those seeking a higher way of living and being.